to be very clear, this case is called the State of Minnesota versus Derek Chauvin. This case is not called the State of Minnesota versus the police. It is not. Policing is a noble profession, and it is a profession. You met several Minneapolis police officers during this trial. You met them. They took the stand. They testified. Make no mistake, this is not a prosecution of the police. It is a prosecution of the defendant. And there's nothing worse for good police than a bad police who doesn't follow the rules, who doesn't follow procedure, who doesn't follow training, who ignores the policies of the department, the motto of the department, to protect with courage, to serve with compassion. Chief Arredondo, the chief of police in Minneapolis Police Department, he took the stand and he testified and he told you what that badge that he wears over his heart means. It's a public service. It's a public trust. They're there to help us. It's a professional organization. There are standards, there are rules, there's a code of conduct, there's a use of force policy, there's extensive training. The police are first responders. They're who we call for help, and they help us. They have CPR training. If there's more training than simply use of force. There's more to policing than putting handcuffs on people and hauling them away, to be true, right? There's other kinds of training. There's procedural justice. There's crisis intervention training. There's medical training. And there's defensive tactics. And there's de-escalation. All of this training. Hundreds of hours of training. You met the people who staff the training center, and they told you, we don't train this. They told you that. The sanctity of life and the protection of the public, those are the cornerstones of the Minneapolis Police Department's use of force policy. The protection of the public, all of the human beings that make up the public. The defendant, he didn't do that because that day his badge just wasn't in the right place. The defendant was a police officer. He was. And again, you need to set aside the notion that it's impossible for a police officer to do something like this. The defendant is on trial not for being a police officer. It's not the state versus the police. He's not on trial for who he was. He's on trial for what he did. That is what he did. That is what he did on that day. 9 minutes and 29 seconds.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.